Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. First of all, I gotta say thank you guys yesterday for commenting in yesterday's video. The fact that you guys would like to actually hear more about my filmmaking, the festivals I'm going to, and any progress on future films that I will be writing and directing. I really was surprised. I didn't actually think so many people cared that much. But there was an outpour from people just wanting to know more about my movie. So I will keep you guys posted. Over the last year, the beer flu pandemic has kind of killed the industry. But I did have a short film that was going through the festival circuit. Unfortunately, we were not able to attend many of those festivals. So that's kind of the latest update. We have been just kind of laying low right now. But I am writing another screenplay and working on something new. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that up off the ground soon. Anyway, gonna dive into this video, guys. This is Bitcoin here on the daily. You can see right now, Bitcoin trading at 34,300. And I've been tracking it over the last several days. So 24-hour increments. So 24 hours ago, Bitcoin was trading in and around here. Today I'm starting the video a little late, but if I were to draw another circle, 24 hour, so a 24-hour period would bring us all the way up here. We are seeing steady upward momentum for Bitcoin. Let me throw this on the daily real quick. You guys can see those green candlesticks. So several green candlesticks in a row. And, we do still have a lot of ways to go up in order for Bitcoin to confirm bullish trend. I mean, firstly, I think getting over this $36,700 mark, that's going to be important. But this one here, guys, this is going to be really important. 41,400. Throw a Fibonacci on there. And you guys can even see I'm just using the candlesticks on this particular exchange to denote some rough levels of resistance. But even here with the Fibonacci, right, getting over the 0.236, we do need to reach about 37,100, and getting up over the 0.382, we do need to get above 42,400. So still a ways to go, but we are seeing positive momentum for Bitcoin. If I bring up XRP here, chugging away, right? Still moving with Bitcoin, and right now XRP is trading at about 60 cents, just over 60 cents. And in the news, guys, I mean, I don't know if I was expecting this. I was kind of expecting a bit of a backlash, maybe some questions, but I saw this from BondCrypt XRP. As expected, protests erupt in El Salvador over the government's Bitcoin law. And this coming from student associations and unions. So let me read you guys a little bit of this. After garnering the approval of a supermajority in parliament, El Salvador enacted its Bitcoin law, essentially becoming the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. The Bitcoin law was passed just hours after President Nayib Bukele first revealed his intentions to introduce it. The brief time period between Bukele's surprise announcement and the passage of the legislation largely precluded challengers from blocking it. So there were protests. And here's what they're saying in a letter by the group. So there was a protest group. In a letter by that group, the protesters asserted that Bukele passed the legislation without consulting exclusively with the citizens. It also made reference to Bitcoin's volatility. And here's what they said. For those earning a minimum wage, in one moment, you may have $300 in Bitcoin, and in the next, you may have $50. Basically, that $300 turning into $50. And so I did touch on this when this news first came out, this idea that it could be very, very lucrative for citizens of El Salvador, if you buy Bitcoin low and wait for a bull run. But you do have to have the knowledge of these cycles. And, us in the XRP community, us in, even just in the crypto space in general, I think we have a very good grasp at this point in time on cryptocurrency market cycles, how they ebb and flow. But, the layperson just does not have that same education with regards to the crypto market. And so I could see how this would be a problem. I was even mentioning this. Notably, the group's major cause for concern regarding the Bitcoin play is the belief that there will be inequality in the usage of the crypto asset by the government. So this goes to a bigger point here, not trusting their government. The letter posits that Bitcoin will only serve deep-pocketed businessmen with links to the government and help them launder dirty money. Let me just move down here. Though the Bitcoin law has already passed, it allows 90 days before becoming applicable, indicating that Salvadorians will be obliged to accept Bitcoin as legal tender come September 7th. So it's interesting, that reaction, that dramatic reaction from El Salvador. I mean, the fact that they are protesting in the streets, I mean, it is a good opportunity if you do have the knowledge of market cycles. However, The flip side to that, of course, is yes, you can lose. I mean, you can turn $300 into $50, and for people who are already financially vulnerable, that is definitely not a good thing. Anyway, wanted to thank BondCrypt XRP for posting that. Also wanted to share this, guys, with you from the Wrath of Kahneman here on Twitter, and he reposted out TomT_Crypto's tweet here with regards to Songbird and Flare. So if you want to know more about Songbird and Flare and what they do and kind of compare the two, here is a infographic here, and I will link this in the description. So the purpose of Songbird, fully functional layer 1 smart contract enabled blockchain to serve as a testbed for Flare mainnet and lasting platform for dApps to test and optimize prior to launching on Flare. You compare that to Flare, that is the institutional grade layer 1 smart contract blockchain solution. Their ticker symbols SGB versus FLR. Onset supply 15 billion with an initial 10% annual inflation for STSO rewards, that's for Songbird, and for Flare 100 billion with an initial 10% annual inflation for FTSO rewards. So with regards to method of distribution, the airdrop for Songbird, airdrop to participants who held XRP on a participating platform during the snapshot. Same thing for Flare, airdrop to participants who held XRP on a participating platform during the snapshot, same date there. Airdrop ratio 0.1511 SGB for every XRP, and for Flare token, or rather the Spark token, 1.0073 FLR for every 1 XRP. Integrated protocols over here for Songbird will first launch for dApps to test and optimize their applications. The STSO, State Connector System, and Assets protocol will onboard sometime after, and then for Flare, FTSO, State Connector System, and Asset protocol fully operational at launch. And then so built-in rewards, delegate SGB to STSO data providers to earn additional yield in SGB. No predefined reward pools for minting S assets, and then it gives you guys a list here. So SXRP, SLTC, SDoge, and SXLM. And then for the Flare network, delegate FLR to FTSO data providers to earn additional yield in FLR. Litecoin rewards pool for FLTC, and general reward pool for all other F assets, including FXRP, FDoge, and FXLM. And then finally, the governance features limited governance role, and it's subordinate to Flare. But then for Flare, full dominant governance role as outlined in the Flare white paper. So just to give you guys a few differences and perhaps similarities with regards to SGB and FLR. I know it's getting a little confusing. I know you guys are probably fed up. You just kind of wanted your Spark tokens. Now they're kind of throwing this other thing at us. But ultimately, guys, it is good for the Flare networks. It is good for the industry as a whole. They want to get it right. Wrath of Kahneman down here saying, note in this infographic, the STSO is distinguished from the FTSO, so they will be separate but work the same. Delegating SGB as a reward, this kind of presentation is a very helpful summary. So again, this is just a summary, just kind of giving you guys an idea of how this is going to work. It will be interesting to see the uses for minting F assets, also S assets. That's a thing now, a new asset class. So wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. I also saw this, guys, from Michael at Val5Links here on Twitter, and the regulatory clarity in the crypto space. Binance CEO is seeing that it is coming fast and furiously, and I mean, we know Binance has been under fire around the globe, different countries now saying, no, you cannot operate in this country because you are not a licensed exchange. You are not providing licensed financial services. So here's what Changpeng Zhao is now saying. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao reportedly expects the crypto space to get hit with heavy regulations. And he was speaking at this annual conference called Redefine, or Redefine. Well, Redefine is a word. Tomorrow, 2021. This is what he said with regards to Binance and with regards to cryptocurrency regulatory clarity. CZ spoke to Tai Panich, Chief Venture and Investment Officer of SCB 10X, the Thailand-based Siam Bank subsidiary that hosted the event. They discussed how Binance might transition amid incoming scrutiny of the crypto space. And CZ said, more regulatory scrutiny recently, it's clear that heavy regulations should be expected. Binance is in the mindset of shifting from a tech startup to a financial service. We are increasing compliance efforts, including hiring ex-regulators. As you guys know, back several months ago now, they did hire Brian Brooks to lead up to be their CEO of Binance.us. So far, communication with regulators has not been our strong suit. Communication localization is also needed. So Binance, realizing that they are under the microscope and that that they have to shift gears, that they have to be compliant. The same with all these other cryptocurrency exchanges that are now kind of shifting gears and becoming compliant, especially in the United States. Just down here, CZ says, I see huge potential for growth in Asia and Southeast Asia. Africa is also a blank slate for development, different strategies for different places. So Binance still does see themselves growing. When they were asked about their growth, CZ said active trading is not for everybody. Gaming, DeFi, NFTs, lots of potential there. I'm sure there are areas that we haven't looked at yet and that are on the verge of growing as well. So despite the fact that, regulators coming down on Binance and, at least as of now, they are not going to be operating well. They will cease operation in these countries, in Canada, in Ontario specifically, in the UK. Seychelles, I believe, is another one, and I know there are a handful of other ones. They're just evading me at this moment in time, but Binance still looking to comply, still looking kind of more closely at how they're going to be a relevant exchange moving forward. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael at Val5Links for posting that. Another one here, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman. So this is the CEO of DMoney. So they are a Ripple partner. I mentioned that a few weeks ago. And they have apparently said some interesting things with regards to Ripple. So I'm going to bring up this article here. It is in Thai, so I'm just going to translate that real quickly here. So this is Aswin Falafongpanich, Chief Executive Officer and founder of DMoney. And just with regards to what he was saying about Ripple. So just up here, let me just talk about this real quickly. The hardest point is network creation. And forgive me because this is translated from Thai from a Google Translate program. Well, here it is, licensed by the Bank of Thailand to connect with foreign financial institutions, and they must have one license to connect to the financial institution. So he's talking about, these banks and connectivity. One individual must also connect a technical system connection. The process of connecting with one financial institution from start to finish takes about 6 to 12 months, which has a comprehensive banking network to reduce the time and processing of connecting to the bank one-to-one. Knight explained that the use of general users will be able to use the service through the DMoney application, while enterprise customers will be able to connect to the system via an API. DMoney also integrates with Ripple, a blockchain service provider for international transactions. DMoney is the only non-bank in Thailand that supports Ripple money transfer transactions. So the only non-bank that supports transfers in Thailand is Ripple. Interesting to note that. Down here, Ripple is also mentioned right over here. In addition, DMoney is also looking at using digital assets to help speed up transactions in the system, such as using stablecoins to transact between trading partners to reduce fees and time. Ripple's system is a good option. It is considering and is in the process of obtaining permission from the Bank of Thailand. So we are seeing huge developments there for Ripple in Thailand. Bringing it back here to the Wrath of Kahneman's tweet. So yes, he does mention the fact that Ripple is the only non-bank in Thailand. Interesting. He does mention here translation. Ripple has bought approval. They have new SME platforms and they aim to be a bank in 3 years. So that is Wrath of Kahneman's interpretation of this. This SME platform appears to have launched in December. Here's an ad for the Australian Thai Chamber of Commerce. He links that link there. Further, he gives some more information here, just a tweet that he tweeted out on July 2nd. Ripple partner ODL DMoney has started a new cross-border platform for SMEs, offering 8% savings over banks. SMEs currently account for 45% of Thailand's gross domestic product, or more than $215 billion US. So interesting to note that. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. I do think that, we are seeing, in every country, of course, they've got their developments with regards to Ripple and XRP. Some countries further ahead than others, but we are seeing, especially in the South Asian region of the world, we are seeing lots of development with regards to RippleNet, remittances, on-demand liquidity, and, it is just building stronger and stronger. Great news there. Another one here, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman, just real quick. This from last year, this U.S. bank presentation about international payments from July 2020 lists Ripple as a solution to consider, along with stablecoins and blockchains in general. And I believe I talked about this back then, but just another point here with regards to US Bank. Okay, so they do actually mention Ripple in this PDF, which looks like a presentation again from last year, but another point that I wanted to mention, because here's what's also happening, okay? And I saw this from DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter. Polysign, okay? Polysign, they apparently just got some new venture capital funding. So this is a CoinDesk article, and it's funny because in this CoinDesk article, they mention a few other companies here like Circle, Ledger, Paxos, and more. and they don't actually mention Polysign. It's funny because you go through the whole article, and I'm looking for Polysign. It's like, where are they talking about this? And, I'm going through this. So anyway, the second quarter saw a record $4 billion in venture capital raised by cryptocurrency firms amid a bumper crop of $30.8 billion in fintech deals generally, a 29% increase from the year before. I think that's important to note. The report mentions sizable funding rounds, such as those from stablecoin company Circle, which snagged $440 million in May. The new largest fund round by a crypto firm came earlier this week when crypto derivatives exchange FTX announced it raised $900 million. So it does note a few of these other ones. And then once you finally scroll all the way down here, it does mention Polysign right down here. CB Insights also signaled out crypto custody and infrastructure as sub-segments that were notable for the ability to raise money. In addition to the funding of Ledger and Paxos, San Francisco custody tech firm Polysign raised $53 million, and London-based custody firm Copper raised $25 million. So I guess, I suppose since these amounts weren't as much, they kind of shoved them down right at the bottom of the article. But interesting to note, Polysign raising more money. And then I happened to see this from Anders L here on Twitter. What's the co-founder of Bitstamp, the most important ODL exchange, doing here? And this is a screen grab from Standard Custody and Trust Company. Here is the co-founder of Bitstamp, one of the ODL exchanges, one of the major ones that provides on-demand liquidity for XRP for cross-border payments. Okay, so there are 5 exchanges. There might actually be more by now, but 5 kind of main exchanges that Ripple partnered with way back when to be able to facilitate cross-border transactions, and Bitstamp was one of them. Anyway, he is a board member, along with David Schwartz, of course, on Standard Custody and Trust Company. And for those of you guys who do not know what that is, Standard Custody and Trust Company is an institutional-grade custody and settlement platform for digital assets. Standard Custody was founded and designed by leading technologists and innovators from pioneering cryptocurrency and distributed ledger technology companies, blended with traditional capital market expertise. So I think it goes without saying, but maybe I should say it anyways, David Schwartz, one of those founding members there. And just to clarify in case you didn't get it, Polysign's subsidiary, Standard Custody and Trust, is one of Polysign's subsidiaries. So it is all connected there. And so Nejc Kodric is a board member of Standard Custody and Trust Company. Of course, these guys still in development doing what they're doing. Wanted to thank Anders L for pointing that out. Also this, guys, and so this was from a month ago, Real XRP Boy pointing us to where Goldman Sachs' mind is with regards to Ripple and XRP. So I just wanted to kind of mention this because he does take a few screen grabs from this official Goldman Sachs statement from last month, goldmansachs.com, down here with regards to money transfer services. And so, the big buzzword in crypto is Bitcoin. Of course, we know Bitcoin is not going to be used for money transfer. I mean, they mention it in this document. I kind of don't know why. I guess they're trying to maybe ease investors or clients into understanding why it could be used and then maybe shifting gears on them and saying why it's not the best option. Anyway, let me get into it. One can similarly value cryptocurrencies on the basis of their money transfer services, okay? So this is how they're valuing Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been used for remittances, especially for remittances to emerging market countries where transaction fees often exceed the global average of about 7%, according to the World Bank. If we use the valuations of major money transfer services, so it continues here, in Exhibit 27 and applied to Bitcoin for the $28.8 billion of annual transfers, the price of Bitcoin is estimated to be about $151. Assuming that all transactions below $10,000 are used for retail money transfers. Further, it does not factor in the reality that other cryptocurrencies provide cheaper and faster options. So here's where they're kind of shifting gears. We note that Coinbase's remittance service chooses 2 other cryptocurrencies, XRP and USDC, not Bitcoin, for international transfers. So Goldman Sachs kind of, priming the pumps here, saying, look, we know that you know about Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin can do X, Y, and Z, but you know what's better? XRP. They also mention USDC, but they do in fact mention XRP. So maybe for domestic transactions, USDC, for international transactions, XRP. They don't outline it further than that. He does add a lot, and by he, I mean Real XRP Boy here. He does add a lot to this thread with regards to this. Now, I also thought it was interesting because he posted this video, and I don't know if you guys remember this video from Miguel Villas from back in 2017. This is when he used to actually work for Ripple. And again, we have to remember, this is 2017, so way before any of this was a reality. Let me play you guys this clip. It's real short. Listen to this.
And I know it's all kind of chicken and egg, but even if you had the prime brokerage model and you wanted to offer leverage to your clients, that means that you now have to go out there and source a bunch of Bitcoin or Ether or XRP, and that's not easy to do, right? I think one of the advantages that we have as a company is the fact that we sit on 60 billion XRP. So the day that Goldman wants to open up their trading desk, they don't have to go find, XRP. They just give me a call, which is nice.
They don't have to open up their trading desk. They just need to give us a call and they can purchase that XRP OTC. So over-the-counter XRP, which would not affect exchange prices. Fast forward to 2021, and we have Goldman Sachs actually, mentioning XRP in this document being a better option for those transfers rather than Bitcoin. So I love seeing this kind of thing. In 2017, we were only speculating that big banks would utilize XRP, and there were a lot of naysayers in the space saying big banks will never use XRP. They will never touch it. They will never touch it. The FUD was big way back then, and now fast forward to today, we are getting in at the ground floor, guys, and this is all positive news. So another thing I wanted to mention here that Real XRP Boy puts into this tweet thread from GoldmanSachs.com, some other factors that we have to look into with regards to cryptocurrencies. It is not unusual to see bubbles during periods of significant innovation. So is this what we're seeing right now? We are seeing significant innovation, and of course, we go to Bitcoin here, and I don't have to show you guys the chart. We look at the charts every single day. A lot would say that this is a bubble. A lot would say, this rally up, this is a bubble. They said it back in 2017 when we saw that Bitcoin rally. This is a bubble. Sure enough, the market did correct 85%. Now again, this is a bubble, and they are actually warning us of that here. So we do see we do see bubbles during significant periods of innovation. This coming from Professor Robin Greenwood of the Harvard Business School, who has focused on asset price bubbles, has noted that periods of great innovation are interesting from the investor's perspective because you can justify a wide range of valuations. Oftentimes, the financial innovation itself might survive the bubble and crash. So in this case, the financial innovation might itself survive the bubble and crash. This is suggesting, and again, this is from GoldmanSachs.com, this is suggesting that perhaps we could see XRP thrive as the rest of the cryptocurrencies falter. And it might not be just XRP, it could be a handful of other ones that we know banks and other financial institutions might be utilizing. But in this case, we do have XRP listed in the Goldman Sachs document. Over here, just another thing that I want to mention from that Goldman Sachs document we discuss in the next section. This introduces a substantial regulatory risk for many popular utility tokens as the SEC considers whether they are unregistered securities. Therefore, we do not consider such utility tokens to be investable assets until their regulatory status is clarified. It almost sounds like they're speaking particularly about XRP. We need to know that its regulatory status is clarified, and that is when we will take advantage. This is why the SEC lawsuit is so important, and this is why, purchasing XRP at 60 cents right now, likely a gift from the gods. But guys, that is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I think based on what we know, based on the facts coming from these official documents from banks and other organizations. All right, let me continue with this. No, it wasn't from this one. It was this one over here. Just another tweet from Real XRP Boy, and boy, does he give some good information. He's been on fire over the last several months. Another screen grab from that same Goldman Sachs document mentioning Ripple, and he's criticizing them here because, well, this is what he writes. LMAO, even the monstrous Goldman Sachs gang can't do proper analysis and research. So just kind of pointing out down here the cons of Ripple, and that it is somewhat centralized and that there is an ongoing SEC lawsuit, but somewhat centralized. Come on, guys. We know that this isn't the case. The bigger point that I kind of wanted to point out here was the fact that Ripple, Algorand, Solana, three big major cryptocurrencies in this Goldman Sachs document. Again, and I feel like this is a record how many times I've been referring to this World Economic Forum document with regards to some of these same cryptocurrencies, Algorand, Solana, and XRP. So we know that they know who the big winners are going to be. In 2017, when Miguel Villas mentioned this, I don't think a lot of us did know. I don't think that we had the confidence at this time. Maybe, maybe employees at Ripple knew. Maybe they knew what was going on behind the scenes. I mean, Bearable Guy, and yes, I'm going to bring up Bearable Guy, he always had confidence. He always pointed to the fact that we just had to be patient, that we just had to wait. Plans within plans happening behind the scenes. Now we're seeing these documents come out this year, within the last month or so, mentioning Ripple, mentioning XRP utility, mentioning that XRP indeed a better option for transfers than Bitcoin from a major bank like Goldman Sachs. So what do you guys think? Is the future inevitable for XRP hodlers? And how soon before we see the price hit $5.89? Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.